Hey, I'm Coach Tira.
And I'm Coach Zona.
Together,
We are
XM
XM Chicks.
So today on this segment, we're talking about adulting. What is adulting?
So, adulting is this stage of life where you are doing some adult things, but you don't necessarily feel like you are an adult, or that you've become an adult with all the responsibility and just being like knowing what to do in different situations. And it's kind of this enigma that we we feel like you have to meet this really high bar, and it's just not super attainable.
We don't have bar at such a young age.
Yeah,
Who told you that you had to meet this high bar?
it's just one of those things like when we're comparing ourselves to people that we consider adults, where it's like I might be doing some things that seem adult-ish, but it doesn't feel authentic, or it doesn't still feel like I am, I don't know, the adultiest adult in the room.
Okay, so as you can see, Zona and I have a difference of opinion about this adulting thing. First of all, there was no such word as adulting when I was coming up. You a child, you a teenager, you a young adult, and then you're a full adult, period. So I understand the concept. It's like 18 to 25, you're not, and that's all Britney Spears saying. I'm not a girl, not yet a woman. I understand that. But an adult is a person, which is a noun. And y'all done took it and turned it into a verb. Adulting. Like it's an action, like something that you do instead of who you are. And so, what I think that you're confusing is maturity.
I mean, that's entirely likely. I think the biggest thing is with our generation, everything seems pushed back so much further. Like
What do you mean?
with college and everything like that, it's like we're still under that. Most people like go back and live with their parents, while they're going back and forth through school. A lot of us have gotten on to get master's degrees and things like that in our generation. So that even extends it out further into like 26, 27. So we aren't hitting some of those milestones that happen when, they had either just right out of high school they would get a job, or they'd only need a 2-year certification. Well, then they're only 20. So they're being able to kind of step out on their own and do that thing where they're like, I have bills in my name and I'm building credit.
That's
and
part of the economy.
Mhm.
The economy does not support you being on your own at a young age, because let's face it, you can't pay rent, car note, student loan, food, lights, cable, cell phone. You can't pay all of that working at McDonald's.
It's true.
That's not gonna work.
hmm The problem is that a lot of us, after we have our degrees, we end up coming out and working in call centers or things like that, and they're not paying us much more than McDonald's would pay us anyway.
Yeah, you have to wear a suit and a cute. Ooh la la. Well, clothes cost money too. Those suits, they cost money.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so adulting. So I see people on Facebook saying, "Oh, I don't feel like adulting today," and I'm like, "What does that mean?"
Basically, they're just saying that they don't feel responsible. They don't want to be responsible today. I can tell you honestly, like I remember where I was at and what was happening when I realized, the first time I realized I was the adultiest adult in the room.
Oh Lord!
And I remember the situation kind of happened.
Say that again. Say that again.
So I was the adultiest adult in the room. So I'm serious. So some shit went down. And I look up, and I'm like, who's the adult that's going to take care of this? And I realized it was me. And all eyes were back on me, and I was like, oh, no, no. I'm not being the one that's taking the fall for this one.
This is water, for those of you who are wondering. I'm not drinking alcohol on the show. Not yet, anyway.
Not yet, anyway. So, but anyways, it's just one of those, it's like we don't have a rite of passage that we have in America that says, you've hit this milestone, now you're an adult, and now you get to make these decisions and be self-sustaining and stuff like that.
I think the short generation is thinking too much about it. I really do.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's probably true. So basically, our question is this, right? So we have a tip of the day, which is sometimes when you're dealing with life, something will feel false or it will feel fake, especially when you're in a transition period. And instead of trying to minimize that or run from that or numb yourself out from that, like in the transition of being kind of that young adult into a responsible adult, to just go ahead and embrace the awkward and to let yourself be in the position that you're at as you make that transition and kind of be a gentle observer.
So leave a comment about your thoughts on adulting, whether you agree or disagree, and any tips that you have to share about adulting. And we'll see you next time.
And subscribe.
Subscribe. Bye.
Bye.